creative showcase is where we let you go forth in your talent and showcase to the world what it is that you do. I'm going to ask Keandra to sing the song, but here's the caveat. You can't sing something gospel.
I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me. By my side, I swallow my pride. Your love is so sweet, it knocks me right off my feet. Oh my, can't explain why your loving makes me weak.
Can you do that just that one? Because I literally just got chills. Can you just do that? Can't explain just one more time, just so I can close my eyes and pretend like I'm in the front row of your R&B concert at the Grammy with your performance. Okay, one more time.
Can't explain why your loving makes me weak. I try hard to fight it.
Boom, boom.
No way can I deny it.
Boom, boom.
Your love so sweet.
What does it do?
Knocks me off my feet.
Take us home. Take us home.
I get so weak in the knees, I can hardly speak. I lose all control, and something takes over me. In a day, it is so amazing. Oh. Ooh, I can't explain why you're loving me weak. Oh.
Wow, that's what she did. And she did it. Oh, can you show me? One more time, just that one part, please.
Can't explain why your love it makes me weak.
Attention business owners and high-level executives. Is your company's website ADA compliant? If you don't know, then it's likely that it isn't. Companies are being sued right now because their websites are not ADA compliant. Nobody is safe. You may even know a company that's being sued right now because their website is non-compliant. You don't have to be a sitting duck any longer. Introducing Annexus ADA. Our new ADA compliance software allows us to offer you an entire suite of ADA compliance services that won't just put you in compliance, but also open your business up to the $650 billion disability market that you may not be serving right now. Our software is also great for your SEO rankings. Google gives more relevance to sites that are ADA compliant. To get started, first, go to www.anexusada.com. Second, choose the right plan based on your company needs. Let us know who referred you on your form to get a discount. And third, submit your request. Lastly, a representative will contact you to process your request and email you detailed instructions for installation. Your personal representative will walk you through every step. We look forward to serving you.
Hey, season 3, we are out here and we are killing it. We're looking forward to it. And yeah, I'll see you at the Stellas. And you better have somebody having your back too, because I'm not playing with you. I'm going to hug you.
Oh, wait a minute. Come on. I'm going to be at the Stellas, so you see him, you're going to see me.
I'm going to hug you both. How about that?
Well, we'll hug you back with the love of the Lord.
And check this out. And I'm going to pray for y'all leading up to the Stellas, because that's how I roll.
We're going to pray for you too, brother.
How about I'm going to continue to wish multiple success upon you and your life? What about that, my brother?
But how about we gonna wish more and more and more and more success, and God is getting ready to do something in your life? How about that?
First of all, don't come around me wishing me blessings and success when I'm trying to be here wishing you blessings and success.
We gotta push each other to success. How about that?
Play with me.
Woo, woo.
I'm going to go ahead and sing one of my favorite opera songs. Don't come for Ashley, or he'll come for that ass. Find your own queen and let that be yours, but don't come for Ashley, or he'll come for that ass.
Amazing. This is a lot.
But I can tell you this.
Tell him.
I'm talking to you. Your platform will expand. The step that you made on faith was a complete one. And there were people who actually advised you against it. And they made you feel totally crazy and asinine for stepping out on faith. But God said, because you stepped out on the water, Peter, Jesus said, I'm going to meet you there. And those who are expecting you to sink, tell them they in for a rude awakening. I also see sponsors. Yeah, they're coming. I say, go to sleep at night, because you go to sleep stressed, tossing and turning like, oh my God, is this going to work? Did I make the right decision? Blah, 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 blah. God said, go to sleep. I got you. Now I'm done with that.
And now we're starting this. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Javon Show. I am Javon, and this is a shirt, ain't it? Ain't this a shirt? This is a shirt. Good morning, Dr. Nate Thompson. Pleasure. She is the author and finisher of Elevate Magazine. And we are grateful to have her as one of our executive producers. Listen, we're going to be starting the show with LaLa in just a moment. We are finishing up a couple of things on the back end, but we will be back momentarily. So I need everybody to go ahead and love today's show, right? And then when you love today's show, this is what you do after you love today's show. After you love today's show, then you share today's show. Share today's show so that others can hear the foolishness that's about to take place. But we're going to have a great time today with LaLa over from the East Coast. You know her. You've loved her. You haven't seen her in a while. So we're going to see what she's been up to and why she's starting to make her journey back today. So while we finish up a couple of things, I'm going to give you a couple more things to watch, but we will be back momentarily. So please don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere. Please don't go anywhere. Just, watch some stuff. You know what? Highlight day. This is highlight day. So let's watch some more highlights of the Javon Show from way back then. We know you know R&B because you sang it, and you know gospel, you know Christian contemporary, you know all that good stuff. What's another song that people will be surprised that you know?
That is a really good question.
Y'all care if it's the Dixie Chicks, Aaliyah, to old Tupac. What something that people wouldn't know?
Okay, let's see. Let me see if I remember the words. Oh, me and my mom's favorite rap song. Here we go. Check it out. I said it hip hop, it hip to the hip hop, and it don't stop, but rock it to the bang bang boogie. Shit up jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat.
Hey.
Now what you hear is not a test. I'm rapping to the beat.
Oh.
I said me, my crew, and my friends, we're gonna try to move your feet. And I am Wonder Mike, and I like to say,
I don't know the song.
oh, you want to say hello to the black, the red, and the brown, the purple, and yellow. But first, you gotta bang, bang, the boogie to the boogie to the hip, jump the boogie to the bang, bang, boogie. Let's rock. And you don't stop. Rock the rhythm that'll make your body rock. Ah!
So, before people get on me, first of all, you killed that, sir. And I'm familiar with it, but my mom didn't let me listen to black stuff growing up. So, black movies.
I actually snuck and listened to it because my brother used to listen to it all the time. So don't feel bad.
And my mom right here, so I can say that. Now, if you had come out with the Sound of Music, I would have been right there with you. Oklahoma, when the wind goes swooping around the plane, I know that.
That's her favorite song.
Miss Mary. Oklahoma, where the wind goes. Oklahoma, where the... I thought you
she destroys it. She destroys that song.
Can I hear a little? Oh, listen, y'all have become my new favorite couple. Can I get a little bit of Oklahoma, Mrs. Berry?
That's the only part I know. I only
Oh, okay. Well, do yours better than me because I'm just gonna edit mine out and let you insert yours in.
And I sing it loud and out of tune for no reason.
Well, give the people what they want, baby. Rumble is so rough.
You gotta rap that.
That's the rap back. It's the.
She brought out that vibrato alto.
Did.
That was Chicago.
Listen, all the way. Chicago Mass Choir. Stand up.
I had so much fun with Osby Berry and his wife, who have just been blessing us with babies. But had so much fun. All right, there's one more video I want to show you guys, and this is a production of a show that I produce for my one of my clients. She's an amazing conversationalist, and she has a podcast called Bold, Bossy, and Blessed. And here's just a little bit of Bold, Bossy, and Blessed.
So a bold person, when they wake up in the morning, they're going to wake up and face whatever the day has to offer or whatever the day is going to bring them. There were days where I had some hard days. I just didn't want to do it. When I'm getting up every day and I'm facing the day or facing a new challenge or facing something at work or facing something personal, that I'm facing those challenges with somebody that's bigger than me, and that's God.
Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. You've been looking and what do you know? Congrats, you tapped into the Javon Show. Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. Of the Outlook will give you some hope. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Javon Show.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to a new edition of the Javon Show. We are in for a nice, tasty treat today because we have brought somebody back. Like we have reached down and pulled somebody up to be on the Javon Show today. And I am so excited to have my sister on the show today. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't even know if you will recognize this beautiful young lady because she has made that decision to just be gone. But now she's back. Ladies and gentlemen, Miss LaLa Crump. LaLa, how are you doing today?
Good morning. How are you?
Oh my goodness. You know, I was anticipating what my face was going to look like when I saw you, and I still am not able to hold the shock of my face intact. I am so excited to see my sister. My goodness, LaLa. Can we just look at you? We're just going to look at you for a second. We're just going to look at you.
Don't do that. How you doing? Thank you for having me. I'm super excited to be here. I don't look no different. I look different.
You don't look no different. You look like half of a person. So apparently you just went and just got a whole life situation put on you. And we're going to talk about all of it because we got that type of access on this St. Patrick's Day. So I'm going to ask you the question that I ask everybody. But before I do, I'm going to ask you to turn your camera sideways. So if you have an Apple?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Turn that bad boy sideways. I know we're gonna have to probably edit this out and all that other good stuff, but we're gonna turn it sideways so that we can make sure that If it's possible. If it ain't possible, then we'll just keep rolling with it. But I need everybody to see the full glory.
I don't know how to use this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Technology.
You see, we've invented iPhones since you've been gone.
I know, but I was trying to keep it on this stand so you could really, really see. So you need me to turn it. Hold on, I gotta unlock it.
Yeah. Unlock. There it is. That's how LaLa's supposed to look.
Okay, I might have to do it a different way then.
Hey, take your time. We got good. So I want everybody to know that this is LaLa Crump. She is now playing the role of the Missy body double. She looks absolutely stunningly amazing. And someone even said that she even sounds different now.
I sound different?
Even sound different now, which makes these indie rock events going to be even different. They're going to be like, who that's LaLa? That's LaLa?
That's me.
So, I know that I've done put you through a whole situation to make those adjustments. So go and do that. Listen, I'm here because I talk a lot. So I have no problems talking on this St. Patrick's Day. I'm going to be let people know a couple of things that's going to be happening upcoming today while we get Miss Crump's video together. I am going to be doing a webinar for people that run a podcast. And whether you have a podcast that has a whole bunch of followers, if you have a podcast with no followers at all, at 11 o'clock Central Time, we're say 11 o'clock Central Time. Yes, at 11 o'clock Central Time, doing a webinar where I'm going to help you launch your voice, get your podcast going. So it's a free webinar. And if you want to just get some free tips and tricks on how to launch your voice through podcasting, I need you to be on that webinar. The link will be provided. It's going to be right here live. Only 250 people can get in. So I need you all to go ahead and get into that webinar. Also today, at 1 o'clock Central Time, I'm going to be on Instagram, IG Live, and I'm going to be there with my friend Leah Brody. She used to be part of the I'm going to consider her still part of the Good Judy podcast, and Marquise Jelks. So me, Leah, and Marquise will be on IG asking the simple question, are you insane? Because, we have to ask that question some days. Like if you in the pulpit and you coming for that ass on a woman in Atlanta because she looked at your husband, we got to ask you a simple question. Are you insane? So we're going to be asking questions today. So IG Live at 1 o'clock Central and right here on Facebook for the webinar, free webinar. And then, but right now we have Miss LaLa Crump. First of all, the hair is fabulous. The lashes are fabulous. The smile is there. You are killing.
If you don't stop
in this AM, I'm just trying to let the people know that LaLa is here, and I'm so excited. Now, are you comfortable? Are you good? You go with your camera?
Oh yeah, I'm good. I'm good now.
So
are we live now? Or
yeah. We've been live for 18. Wait a minute, we've been live for 19 minutes. So
how do you share it?
Right now, what you could have done. So let me tell you how cool StreamYard is now. If you log out and log in, right before you log in, it'll give you the option of adding the feed to your page. And you don't even have to be like a host on the StreamYard or nothing. You can actually put in your page and connect it, and it will go live on your page.
So you want me to log out and come right back?
Yeah, go ahead and do that. We got time.
Okay, I'm gonna log out and come right back.
Cool. While LaLa logs out. See how I did that? It's alliteration. Is that the name of it? Alliteration. As LaLa logs out, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to do a couple of things. So we talked about the IG today. We talked about the webinar. Now the question is, Javon, how can you help me launch my podcast? I mean, yours is a hype. Excuse you. But no. So we have tips and tricks that's going to help you get you going so that you can have a successful podcast. We're going to tell you the equipment that you can use, the places to publish, the techniques to use, the preparation that it takes to have a successful program. So we want you to just come in the free webinar. And guess what? It's free. What you going to lose by going to a free webinar, especially if you're someone who wants a podcast, if you're someone who has thought about starting a podcast? I want to be able to help you get going. You do not have to use my services, my production services. I think I'm a pretty cool producer, if I do say so myself. But you don't have to use my production services. In fact, you can take this information and just run with it and then have a successful podcast. And I will feel fantastic in knowing that I helped someone else launch their voice. Let's say you're like, you know what? But my thing is, I only like talking about gospel choirs. I promise you, there are people who want to hear a podcast about gospel choirs. Let's say you only like quartets. There's a podcast, an audience for people who only want to hear about that. And let's say you're somebody who just loves lashes and you want to do a podcast about lashes. I guarantee you, there's about 0.007% of the population that wants to hear a podcast on lashes, about the glue to use, about the individuals versus the strips. Why does Javon know so much about lashes? Well, the point is that there is a podcast audience for you based on the things that you love. So why not go ahead and join the webinar today at 11 o'clock Central right here on Facebook, and we will give you tips, tricks on podcasting, starting your podcast, marketing your podcast, promoting your podcast, branding your podcast, and actually having the podcast itself. Have I told you all how much I love, enjoy, and appreciate Marcus Collins and the collective, and how fantastic him and his program are? They do branding and marketing and development for artists. And they have a heck of a background singer program too. So although in most of my podcasts, I come after Marcus Collins, I come after him. I tear him to him because I love him so much. And there's a mutual love and a mutual respect there. Even though on some programs, I just like, just clowning. But he's an amazing guy. He's going to be doing a indie rock lounge in Vegas with LaLa. So make sure you guys, if you guys are going to the Stellars, to look for that information. It's going to be blasted everywhere. You all know that the Stellar Awards, boy, I'm going to not teach you how to talk in your podcast in my class, but I'm going to teach you how to launch it. The Stellars are going to have a production in Vegas for this year. They're returning to Vegas. And, Vegas is one of my favorite spots. I have clients in Vegas. I have business in Vegas. And I usually have a great time when I go to Vegas. So we're going to be in Vegas in July for the Stellar Awards. And I hope that you all will join me, LaLa, and Mr. Collins. And we're going to have an amazing, amazing time. We're going to be giving information. I'm not even part of the Indie Rock Lounge program, but I'm going to be there. And they're going to be giving you all kinds of great information on how you can maximize your potential as an independent artist. What else is going on in the world? So we talked about a little bit of the woman who's in the pulpit, and she was just laying into the woman that looked at her husband. And in the pulpit, she said, if she see her, she was coming for that ass. And I cannot wait to have a discussion about, is that something we should be doing, coming for that ass while we're in the pulpit? We'll see. I don't know. To me, my answer is no, but who am I, right? So what we're going to do now, we're going to do a reset, a hard reset. We're going to start the whole show over again because, I have the power of editing and you're live with us, but really this is just a studio audience. And if you've ever gone to a live taping of a show, you'll see that they'll start and stop and start and stop 16, 17 times. So what's going to happen is I'm about to do a reset. We're going to do the intro over again. We're going to bring in LaLa like she has never been brought in before. And we're going to do the live taping of today's show. So y'all stand tight. We're going to play the intro and then we'll be right back with LaLa Crump.
Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. You've been looking and what do you know? Congrats, you tapped into the Javon Show. Who keeps you laughing with all the jokes? It's JV. Who keeps it real around all your folks? It's JV. No matter the outlook will give you some hope. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Javon Show.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Javon Show. I am your host, Javon, and on this new edition, we have an amazing young lady that's going to come and share with us where she's been and what she's been up to and what she's about to do. Real quick, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to Dr. Anisha Thompson, one of the producers of the Javon Show. Big shout out to Dr. T.L. Holmes. Big shout out to Clarence Jedi Evans, who did our new intro. I love the song, and it's not even an ego thing. I just love hearing my name. I love hearing my name so much that I even name people my name just so I can keep hearing my name. That's Javon Jr., and Vaughn, Trinity. Who does that? Javon from the Javon Show does that. Now, looks like other people love the intro too. Thank you, Dr. Thompson. She loved the intro. And you know what? I received that applause. Yes, I received that applause. So we're going to have a great time today. And we're going to have a great time because we have an amazing guest today. Who is the guest, you ask? Well, I'm going to go ahead and bring her on now because I'm so excited. I've been so excited leading up to today because she is an amazing gift. And that gift is in the package of LaLa Crump. Good morning, LaLa.
Good morning. How are you?
Oh my God. You look so good.
Wow. Is this better?
You look amazing. You are in perfect frame. Everything is fantastic. It is truly a pleasure to see you, LaLa.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
So, of course. Now we're going to start the show like we start all the shows, but we're going to get this through this part real quick. Who is LaLa Crump?
Who is she? Wow. Her name is Kenitris LaChelle Crump. I became LaLa a few years ago after, I guess, the Listeners Lounge, the Indie Rock Lounge, assisting Pastor Key, assistant artist in the gospel industry. But I am 43, 2 kids, 24 and 22. I love music. I love serving people. Music is therapy for me. I've been through a lot. I need to be writing a book on the journey that I've had. But that's LaLa. LaLa is always in work mode. No really personal life. I just serve people. That's LaLa.
That is LaLa. LaLa, you and I met, I want to say 2015 Stellar Awards, maybe?
I think so. Yes. Through TL, right?
Yep, right through Dr. Holmes. And I was just moving into Atlanta, and you were in on the East Coast, as you've always been on the East Coast.
Mm-hmm. I was in Charlotte.
And I've had the pleasure of even hosting one of your events as an MC, walking around with the microphone, asking questions. I have attended your events, have always loved you. And then you were gone. So I want to start my conversation with what you were doing, why the pause, and what you're going to be coming up to doing. So let's start with the beginning. How did you get started in the music industry?
Well, at the age of 16, my dad is in the industry, and he's also a minister of music at the church. So at the age of 16, we did a live recording. At this live recording, a couple of industry labels came to see our church choir. As they were coming to see our church choir, my godmother was there as well and opened up for the live recording. Nevertheless, to say that the choir and my godmother got signed to the label. My godmother, I did a song on the record, live recording, so I do sing as well. I did a song on the live recording. My godmother did a solo project. Her second project, they wanted background. When they wanted background, of course, I'm still in high school, but my dad is the keyboard player, my brother's the drummer. So it's like, pull LaChelle. LaChelle can sing all parts. Let's pull LaChelle. So they pulled me, and then I pulled more background singers. So when I was in high school, I was signed to a record company, and I went to everything from the GMWA to Pastor Key's conference. I mean, it was so many different avenues back then. Quartet was definitely in our family DNA. So from choir to quartet, my dad played for Willis Pittman. He played for the Carolina Spirituals. He played for so many artists as well. So when I graduated, I still was signed to the label and began to work hands-on. I got promoted to vice president of the label. I was working in like radio sales. So I did the radio mail outs. I was contacting stations. I was doing interviews. So from there, I went to vice president. When I went to vice president of the record company, I learned all the entities of how to become or run a label behind the scenes versus us looking to see the success stories of all the artists. After that, I worked there for about 6 to 7 years. And then I turned in my resume. When I turned in my release letter, I started an artist consulting company. Then I moved to Charlotte and started working. I went to Pastor Key's church for a whole entire year before I started working with him. It was so weird that I saw his praise and worship leader at a conference and he saw me teaching. And he was like, "Do I know you?" And I was like, "I don't think so." He was like, "I know you. Did you go to my church?" And I was like, "Yeah, I've been going to your church for a whole year." He was like, "He know you?" And I was like, "I don't think so." I said, "I go there, but I don't think so." Because every Sunday it'll be lines and lines for people to go hug him and embrace him. Not only from the church members, from visitors that came into Charlotte, North Carolina. So I never got into that because, again, when I moved to Charlotte, I wanted to go to his church for him to be my pastor, not for him to be John P. Key. So I was cool in the background, and I needed a break from everything that we have been doing and the kids and all of that stuff. So I sat in the audience, and Pastor Key called me one morning at 4:00 in the morning and said, "Come to the church." I said, 4:00 in the morning? I was like, "My kids in the bed." He said, "Well, how quick can you get here?" I said, "About 20 minutes. He hung up the phone. So they called me back. The staff members called me back and was like, "Well, that means that you need to be here." And I was like, 4:00 in the morning. She said, "He'll have you back before the kids go to school." So that's how I got like
Wait.
real.
What did he need at 4:00 in the morning?
That's when he have his meetings. I've been there since 2010, and we've probably had 2 daytime meetings. Every meeting is after midnight. And I'm talking about, and they could last to noon the next day.
What is there to talk about at 4:00 in the morning? Except
if you follow him on Instagram, he's wide open from 12 to 8 in the morning. Look at his Instagram. Look how he posts. Look how he interact with people. He would have me in the last 10 years. I've called and booked comedians, artists, band members, 2, 3 o'clock. I'm on Facebook like, "Yo, can y'all wake up y'all friends? I need such and such. I need this." That's how he did it. Wow. And I went there and I've been on his staff ever since.
Since that 4:00 in the morning call.
Absolutely. So what happened with what I do with the indie rock stuff, we would go to Stella's. We would go to Stella's every week, every year, and we would never see platforms for the independent. Even on the Stella ballot, there's no award for new emerging artists or independent artists coming out or somebody that has broke. This was before the Zacardis, and mind you, I've been doing this for about 29 years. I'm 43.
You've been doing this for almost 30 years, and you're 43 years old.
Yes. Yeah, I got in it early. The Keith Wonder Boys. I ran with Keith, Darrell, Doc McKenzie. That's my era, way back. I'm still in it now, but that's my era. That's where I learned how to grind. We didn't even have social media.
Right.
We only had MySpace back then, and then that came years later, MySpace, and we were able to introduce some of the music on our profiles and stuff like that. Yeah, I'm an old cat.
And I guess that's back in the day when radio was really the way.
It was.
So
how mail outs, huh?
Well, yeah, I mean, because I'm a 90s kid, but I think that the only way I got introduced to music besides being at church was through radio. So
radio was so big back then. Hold on, I want to share this real quick.
Yeah, do your thing, do your thing. And while we're doing that, I wanted to give we mentioned Dr. Holmes, but we did not mention the person who introduced me to Dr. Holmes, and I think was the reason why all these connections happened. And he's right. Chris Jackson.
Chris Jackson, absolutely.
It was him.
Yes, it was.
He said, Javon Martin, y'all, he was my friend first. That's true. I met Chris. Chris introduced me to TL and to you, and that's how that connection came about. So shout out to Chris Jackson.
That's right. Shout out to him. I love him dearly. Like, you can't have a better friend than Chris Jackson.
He's a good guy. He's a really good guy.
Very good guy.
And I've been trying to get him to manage me for 15 years, but we're not going to talk about that.
Uh-oh.
I've been trying to get everybody to manage me for 15 years. Chris said we used to have to mail out directly to the radio station.
That's right. That's right. We used to sit at the board table or a kitchen table and just come up with a list. Like, so I still have database. I still have my spreadsheets from back then. And I'm talking about hundreds of stations. So what we would do is put it in a spreadsheet, and you would have the name of the station, the call letters, the city and state the stations was in, email address, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And you would mark when the gospel shows came on. Because a lot of times, sometimes it would just be Sunday, or somebody would have a Saturday show that was very popular. Or the station played the record Monday through Friday. So it was a lot of more work then. It's less stations now, but there's still people that play gospel music. There's still relevant stations out here. It's just not as many. All the AM stations that was popping, they were never BDS monitored, but they were relevant and they kept gospel music going. Quartet is the only genre that can work weekend to weekend with no radio.
Which is, how did you get into, or why did you get into quartet? Because you said that your first recording was the live recording with the choir.
Right.
What transitioned you to quartet music? Because I haven't been able to get into quartet music at all, ever.
My daddy is a quartet baby. My dad, I'm telling you, from the Cantons to the Jackson Southerners to Willie Neal to Tommy Ellison to Willie Banks, like, it's right down in here.
Wow. And I've done a tour. I did a tour with Canton Spirituals, did a tour with Jackson Southerners. I forget some of the other quartets, but it was like, I would be there and I would be watching the women at these quartet concerts. I have never been to a gospel concert where panties flew on the stage.
Those are the ones that spend the money.
I was like, those are old woman draws.
Oh, wow. Yes, it still happens today on certain artists. It still happens today. Real big now in the Southern Soul, R&B, all of that. But yeah, it happens in gospel too. Trust me.
Have you ever thrown your panties on the stage, LaLa? Be honest.
I have not. You know what? I haven't. I have been.
You have to think about it? Wait a minute. Did you have to think about it, LaLa?
I didn't have to think about it. I haven't. But what I want to say is I've definitely been excited, but I became unstarstruck years ago. I feel like a lot of artists, we're all in the same boat. We're serving. God has gave us ministry to serve through music to get to people. A lot of people that come to the shows don't go to church on Sundays. A lot of people that you get to minister to or be in front of, entertain, they don't get what we grew up with, structure of a church. They don't get that. So I became unstarstruck about meeting people. I went on tour with Pastor Keith for years, and it would be nothing for us to go to a church and Jamie Foxx there, Denzel Washington. I mean, I've met a lot of people, Snoop Dogg. I met a lot of people through traveling with them, and they're like us. They're human, and they're excited about music just like us. So no, I've never thrown my panties that way. Now, you let me meet P. Diddy. That's always been my idol, to be on his team.
Yeah.
I've always had a thing of, okay, I think he got it together. And when he just kept producing and kept laying out different platforms with the Revolt and all of this stuff, the conferences, the workshops, the panels now, that was me. I was like, oh my God, I would love to work for him one day.
And now,
so I might get stuck trying to say hello, how you doing? I'm LaLa. If I ever meet P. Diddy.
He should be so lucky to work with you, to be on your team, because you're the one in the gospel industry that the indies go to. I remember talking about that starstruck moment. I remember the moment I got unstarstruck, right? I had been going to the gospel, like the Stellar Wars. And again, I didn't start really, because I grew up in church and I was in church all the time and listening to the music in Chicago, WGCI on Sunday mornings and AM station during the week. And I loved and was loving gospel music. And I remember being able to go to a choir rehearsal because our minister of music was the assistant director for Ricky Dillard, Larry Jones.
Okay.
So, Larry would have all these people come to our church, and I would just be like, oh, wow. And I stayed wow because I was at the age of, wow, that's Ricky, that's Mark Hubbard, that's Donald Lawrence. Oh my God, that's a Clark sister. It was just so awed. But then I got to the Stellars. And I was in awe for a long time until I got to the Stellars. And I was in a Walmart, walking through Walmart, and ran into Kirk Franklin. And I thought I was going to melt because that was Kirk freaking Franklin. And he was like, hey, what's up? I was like, Kirk talked to me. And then, so, I'm like wandering in Walmart now, like, wow, I talked to Kirk Franklin. And then I saw him like 3 more times in that Walmart. I'm going to get to this story real fast. Fast forward, the next year, I saw Kirk at another event, and he walked up to me. He was like, hey, from Walmart. And I said,
wow,
ain't no way. And we had a conversation, and it was in that moment where I was like, oh, Kirk is like me.
They are. They're good people. They're just farther than a lot of us. And again, they deal with the same struggles that we deal with behind closed doors of this industry that people don't see. It takes a lot to make things happen. You go through ups, downs, ins and outs. Like, my story has been so different. It's been so unique. I've never had competition in my blood, competitiveness. It's a lot of people that do what I do. A lot of people that do what I do. And I celebrate them. And as a female doing this, because this is a male industry, I celebrate all the females that have taken the lead to even create a platform or serve others. I do.
It takes a lot to serve people, and it takes a lot to serve John P. Key. We had a question from one of our listeners. They wanted to know why John P. Key never returned her phone calls. Can you ask me when you get why he did not return Deborah Martin's phone calls? She wants to know, and I believe she deserves an answer.
I don't know, but I get that all the time. A lot of people call me and be like, whenever you get them on the phone, you just call me back on 3-way, or when you get next to him, just FaceTime me, please. Just FaceTime me, please. So when I first started there, we were on Androids. They got iPhones before I did. So whenever he saw that my text message turned blue instead of green, he's never dialed my number again. It is always a FaceTime, and it is always 3, 4, 5. Y'all, if y'all go down my timeline, or sometimes I'll share the old memories, I'll be like, who had me up at 3 o'clock in the morning trying to book comedians or trying to call people? John P. Key. John P. Key works after midnight. And he always tells me, you can't sleep. You sleep after success. So a lot of times I'm just 24 hours available to people that know who I am, or people that, call me, or people that have questions. If it's 2, 3 o'clock, I'm going to answer my phone.
So I'm going to get into that in a second. I want to hit some of these stuff because people are just, so I think we talked about Mr. Collins. Oh, you cute sis, come through because you are beautiful this morning. Miss Woodhouse, thank you for watching us from El Paso. Miss Garrison, thank you so much for watching us this morning. We appreciate it. We also have going through Oh man, I love the name. Jay Vaughn. Come on through, Jay Vaughn on the Vaughn Show. LaLa can manage you. She's already turned me down. Who else do we have on here? Candace. Hello to you, Candace. It's so good to see you this morning. And everybody knows Chris. Everybody knows Chris.
Hello to everybody. Thank you guys for joining. Y'all share this live. We definitely got to build this show. Yeah. I can't wait. I hope Javon is coming back to Stella's, but we're going to talk about that too.
We're going to talk about that too. Let's see. And then we also have J.R. Devontae Richardson. Just wanted to come in and say good morning. Good morning, sir. Good to see you, Junior. J.R., whichever one you go by. Thank you so much. And so how does working for John P. Key affect the family of LaLa Crump? How does it affect your impact to parent, your impact to date? What has that been like for LaLa?
Dating is not in the picture. I haven't dated since 2013.
You know, it's 2023, right?
Yeah, it's 2023. I understand. I haven't entertained no one. I haven't dated. I haven't been out. I haven't been asked to go out. I've just really focused on my career, my children, and my family. When I was coming up through this industry, I had my first daughter. I graduated one Friday night. I had my daughter the next. So my oldest has been here since day one. Let me put my phone on Do Not Disturb.
You know people's going to reach out. Is that Pastor Key? Tell Pastor Key to come on. No, I'm just playing. We don't need Pastor Key on the show. We got LaLa. It's always an honor to work with LaLa Crump, says Mr. Collins, and I agree with that wholeheartedly. It is always an honor to work with LaLa. LaLa is the greatest. You know, some people say Flip Mode is the greatest. I say LaLa is the greatest. And then good morning to you, Shar McDowell, as well. Shar gave a wonderful opening to our season this year and just trying to help manifest some of the great things into the Javon Show. So always appreciate it, Shar McDowell. Now, LaLa's going to take care of her phone situation for a quick moment. So we're going to take this moment to take a real quick break. Now, while we take this break, I need everybody. This is what I need you to do because you know what I need you to do. So I need you to go ahead and do it. I need you to tell 5 more people to come on this live because we're about to get into some really good conversation with LaLa. We've got more to go. This is just a real quick commercial break. Make sure that you all stay tuned. Do not go anywhere. I'm listening. If you leave, I'm coming back for you. I'm going to find you. You know me. I'm going to find you. So come on back to the Javon Show. We'll be right back after this. And we're back. We're going to go ahead and bring back in Miss LaLa. Welcome back.
I'm so sorry.
Listen, you are popular, and we knew that coming into it. So tell Pastor Key.
For the very first time.
This is our time now. Pastor Key has to wait. Go back to sleep. You got to wait.
Were asking me about working with him in my personal life. So again, I graduated one Friday. I had my daughter the next. So my oldest daughter has been through this whole entire 24 years in this industry with me. A lot of times my parents was with me at the early age. And then, you know, when I branched off and went to Charlotte, when I went on tour with him 2-3 weeks at a time, they would come to Charlotte and stay with my kids. Make sure they went to school and all of that good stuff. So I really had a really good support system when it came to my family. Now that we're 20-something years in, they have their own lives. They graduated from high school. They went to college, graduated, and now they're both in the workforce. My baby girl is more attached to what I do and interested in what I do than my oldest daughter.
And how old are they? They're 24 and
22. Yeah.
Was it worth the sacrifice?
Yes. Every bit. I would do it again. I would do it with them. My oldest daughter is amazing. She has the ear like me. She can sing. My baby girl can sing as well, but my oldest daughter is pitch perfect. And when I say she can sing, she can sing. And I told her I invested a lot of learning this because I need her to give me at least an EP before I leave this world. But yes, I would do it all over again. So personal life, I haven't had one.
Is she interested in doing an EP?
She was, but I don't think not now. Yeah, she said I kept her in it too much. She was like, you drag me to all them shows and all them conferences and stuff. So no, she was like, no. And I'm gonna let her get her time. Her friends encourage her because they hear her. She can be around the house, or she may do a video on Instagram or something like that. She is a vocally amazing. And some of my friends know that she can sing. Like she can sing. But she tells me no at this point.
I wonder if she would be interested in doing like backgrounds with the collective or something. Like she
mentioned to me about a week ago, Mama, you think I can sing background for King George? Now, I did say that, but that ain't no gospel artist. It's the soul artists that sing quartet and sing about love and sex and women. So yes, she did say that, but no, she ain't interested.
So okay, no dates, no hookups in 10 years.
No, sir. I think it's because I don't know what it is. Keith Wonderboy Johnson used to tell me all the time. I think LaLa, they want to ask you, but they're intimidated. I'd be like, why do I intimidate them? He was like, because you just so. And I can turn a regular conversation straight into business like that. Like I don't know how to turn it off. So it's probably me. It's my fault.
I get you. Well, first of all, Mr. Collins, stay together. Yes, I said hookups. I knew exactly what I was asking, and she knew what I was asking. And you see how she avoided my whole question, and that's fine.
Wait. What? What'd y'all say? I missed it.
I'm trying to figure out how a woman of your caliber. Watch yourself, Javon. You got in trouble with this with Pastor Sheard. You know what? Moving on. So
I'm an open book. Trust me, you can anything. I'm an open book.
We're gonna get to all the books, but we also gonna find some hookups for you because not hookups. I mean some connections for you. So if you want to date LaLa, make sure you call 1-800-DATE-LAL because that's the right number of letters to do. 1-800-DATE-LAL, and we're gonna figure out a way to get you connected with LaLa because LaLa needs a friend. So there has been not Tinder. What is it called? Farmers Only or publicistonly.com or
no. You know what goes through the back of my head when people say that? Because a few people know that I don't date or I don't entertain or I don't go out. They'd be like, well, why don't you just go online? Somebody told me that about a month ago. Like, it's a Facebook dating now, LaLa. You know what the first thing goes through my head?
What?
Somebody will send my profile to John P. Key, and he is going to have me on Instagram just to show his my name, LaLa Crump. You hear me?
So then he needs to find you a good quartet brother. And yes, I understand that they got to go through your brothers. How many brothers do you have?
I have one brother.
And I'm guessing, so Marcus is saying all the brothers in the industry. I'm sure he's considering himself a brother. I'm a brother. They got.
Oh yes, now in the industry, yes, I do. I have solid friends, solid relationships that for years in this industry. And I'm excited about that because a lot of people can't keep that going.
Right.
We have done that. Even if we don't talk every day, when me and you talk, whether it's 2-3 times a year, we just go back to the first time, or we just go back to when we hung out, or we just go back to a situation. It'd be so vibrant and exciting, our conversation, because it's just like we just never live. And all of my friends don't live here. They don't live here.
So but I'm just thinking about all the industry connections you've had. You've never had an industry person come up to you because listen, James is trying to go for everybody. So you've never had I just said that out loud. So you've never had an industry person be like, man, that's LaLa. Let me go ahead and slide. No, nothing. And if they did slide, would you even entertain because you'd be so busy?
I don't know. Probably not.
We gotta figure something out.
I know how this industry rolls. I know what happens. I know so many situations. I don't even know if I would want to put myself into that. But I do know that the person that, you know, you do invest in has to know your language. And my language is music. My language is family. My language is serving. My language is following God's heart. So they would have to have some kind of conversation to be able to meet me where I am. So I don't know. I don't know, but I've never had it happen. I don't know why. I was larger. I've tried to lose weight for years, and after the house burning down last year, I was so depressed and so under the covers in the bed, and I was just, I don't know. It put me in a space that I had never been out, and I had to climb my way out.
Yeah. And I'm definitely I want to get into that, but we're definitely going to speak to that. But I want to lead up to the house fire.
Okay.
So let's say 1 week, 2 weeks, a month before the house fire, what was life like for LaLa?
So coming down the pipeline, Clubhouse came into play as a social media outlet. Even before then, there was, I don't know if you remember that we had the Let's Talk Gospel that we did every week.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's 10 years because that started in 2013. We did that every Tuesday night. I did it with a lady named Miss Gwen Atkins, which is one of the executives of the GMWA Quartet Division. So over the years, I've gone to so many quartet shows, so many choir shows, so many Stellas, so many conventions. You name it, I have been there. North Carolina GAG, I served my own community, which is an organization under the GMWA, but it's in your region. So I've served on all of those different type of platforms. I've taught workshops. I've created workshops. I've hosted them. All of that. Years later, from the Let's Talk Gospel, again, it allowed us to build a lot of direct relationships with these artists before they became very, very popular. I don't know if you remember, we worked with the Walls Group before they signed the label with Kurt Franklin. Not only that, we'll talk about the people that came from the Indie Rock Lounge.
So you had so many people come from Indie Rock, like so many people. I met Naomi Rain through Indie Rock. I met
Benton Bohanna.
Yep.
Quentin Ellis. Many people. So many people. So I've always been really, really heavy in quartet. So after serving Pastor Key for so many years, I did come off the road with him and began to just do things from home. I still work with him. I still serve him. I still go to the church, all of those type of good stuff. But back in the pandemic came. So prior to the pandemic, of course, I was still doing my events every year at Stella's. Pandemic came and I started working with a group called Roar and Revelation, which is directly quartet. So prior to the house burning down, I was working with them. The day before the house burned down, we were in the studio doing a photo shoot. It was a Sunday. The house burned down on Monday. The day the house burned down, we were on a 3-hour conference call with Roy Revelation, putting a plan together of what was next. How I got into traveling with them consistently, I opened up a t-shirt line, and I had a quartet line, I had a musician line, I had a BBW line, big girl line, kids line. I did t-shirts, hoodies, jogging suits, Letterman jackets, hats, you name it. I did that. I worked at a shop. From that shop, I created my own line. So the morning of the house burning down, I was on the Zoom call for 3 hours. I was like, listen, I haven't seen my kids. My kids were in Raleigh, and I said, I'm gonna go see them and take them some pizza. So after the Zoom call, I get off the Zoom call, go get in the shower. By the time I got in the shower, the downstairs was on fire. Like, me and my mom was in there, and our dog passed away in the fire because we couldn't get him out. It scared him with all the stuff falling and things like that. And I tried to go back in and get him. And my clothes caught on fire. I had on the road because I had just got out the shower. And again, prior to the fire, on the Zoom call, no smoke detector. We were not alerted at all. When I say at all, it was just like you have everything set, you have a schedule, you have what you need, and then the next moment it was gone. It was gone. And that put me in a dark place. It did.
So you get off your Zoom call, you go into the shower, you come out the shower.
And I was upstairs. The bathroom was upstairs, yes. I was upstairs. When I hit that top step, I could smell it. I could see it. My mother was still not aware. She was laying across her bed. Yeah, it was really, really bad. I couldn't even think straight. Like, I couldn't think of nothing to do. But when me and my mom get down the steps, she falls down. So that's why the dog ran back up the steps, because of the noise. She slipped down because she was rushing. We go through the kitchen to the carport, and she's just like, maybe we got a fire extinguisher. We did, but we could not get the pin out to make it work. So we tried that. I get her outside. I'm like, Mom, we got to move this car. The car was on the carport. So I go back in the house. Now, the kitchen is on fire. I go back in the house, get her keys, move her car, move the car far enough from the yard. Then I go back in the house because she is screaming about this dog. And I'm like, oh my God, let me go get my daughter's dog. Because it was my baby girl's dog. I'm like, let me go back in the house. So when I go back in the house, my clothes caught on fire. And I'm just like, I got to get out or I'm going to be going too. So.
Was it like in the movies where you just see this sea of flames?
Yeah, it was electrical fire. So it was in the walls. So that's why we were not aware. The fire chief told us that when we opened that back door, we gave it fume. Because it gave it air. Mm-hmm. So when it gave it air, that's when the bottom floor exploded. Yeah. So we had
the floor exploded.
Yeah, it did. We lost everything but our last names. My car keys. I mean, it was. I was hurt. I was hurt. All of my machines, everything I had was in the house.
Computers, your documents.
Yes, I'm talking about equipment. My dad lost the studio, childhood stuff that we had from when we were singing for the mayor in the Bahamas at 18 years old. A lot of 18-year-olds don't get to do that. Everything. Yeah. And I went into a whole shutdown mode.
When you're outside the house and you're watching the house go up in flames, are you realizing in that moment, like, wow, this is my entire life? Or was it a situation where it was much, much later on? So it was in that moment.
It was in that moment to have to call my kids to tell them to come after I was just coming to them. Like, it was just a phone call away. I'm just coming to them. Now I'm calling them back, telling them the house is on fire. My client, same thing. I called Roy back. I'm like, do you know the house is on fire? Like, I was screaming, crying, trying to get my mom together. It was a lot on me. And this is not our first house fire. This is our second one.
Same house?
Our house burned down in 1987 when my brother was 6 and 8 years old. So this is my parents' second house fire on that same property. We still haven't rebuilt. It's just been a lot. It's been a lot. Since then, my dad found out he had cancer. It's been a lot. I definitely try, or what sustained me of coming out of my darkness again is serving others. I truly went on the road, and music and being gone every weekend, during the week, out the week, has helped me heal from where I was.
When you had the house fire and you realized, I'm guessing no insurance, right?
No, we had insurance.
You did have insurance for the house. Mm-hmm. So
it took a long time to kick in, but it also showed me during the house fire who my friends were, because a lot of people that I know for years did not reach out to me.
and that was my question. So you let it be known that you reached out to people for assistance after the fire, after all these years of serving and helping others, and you reached out, and what was the response from people?
Nothing.
Just
Some of them I still haven't heard from. And it wasn't about the money. It was just about our relationship and just the encouragement from people that I have worked with over the years. Oh yeah. It has been a tremendous process to even get here today. I'm still not there today.
So we talked about that dark place, LaLa, though. So help us understand exactly where you were. So when the house burns down, now you need a place to live. Where do you live?
Well, I went with my daughter. My parents live in my grandmother's house. My grandmother had passed, so her house was vacant, but it wasn't livable. So my dad is a flipper houser. He works for Chatham County School, so he's just an all-in guy. He do everything from electricity to laying floors to wall. He do everything. So he had to get my grandmother's house up to par for them to be able to stay in. I stayed with my daughter until I was able to get an apartment. I do have an apartment and with nothing in it. The only thing I have is a bed. That's it. And TV.
And
I wasn't a TV watcher. I've never watched TV until now. And it's only because I'm not around my parents. I'm an hour and something away where the apartment is. And I'm just in this apartment. And when I leave, I go on the road, I come back, I leave, I go on the road, and I come back.
What was the reason for being in the dark place? Because it seemed like you had your family, you had a place to live. And I know that the people not responding to you just to make themselves, I guess, present for you. Is that what caused you to get into that dark place?
I don't know. I think so. And again, I think the memories of everything that we had done in the industry as a family, my godmother's situation of her creating a platform for us to be able to go on the road and learn this industry and do music. Music is, again, in our DNA. It is our lifeline. It's a lifestyle for us. My cousin that I grew up with, same street, same school, same church, same record company. We all got signed at the same time. He now plays lead guitar very, very professionally. Anthony Hamilton, he's on the road with a guy named Bill. I can't even think of his last name now, but he has played for everybody. Everybody. Like, we've all been successful in the music game.
But it's so how do you want to continue in that music game, though, and continue helping people when in your moment of greatest need, you weren't able to have somebody there to provide assistance for you?
It's just who I am. It's beyond that for me. I had to get over it. I had to, again, realize who my friends were, who respected me, and who loved me beyond what I could do for them. Because you'll fall into that. They only call you when they need something, not to just call and say hello, how you doing, check on you, holidays, whatever the case. And again, the list is so huge because we've met so many people over the last 10 to 15 years in this music industry, in life, in church, whatever the case, conventions, network. This is you got new people coming up where in our generation, everything was established and set. It was hard to get out of one position and go to another. It was hard for another person to take the position that people have held down for 10, 20 years. So we got all these upcoming emerging industry execs and artists now that are creating different platforms because guess what? They couldn't get into those established platforms. So again, it hurt. And it took me a couple of months to get past it, trust me. But the person that I am, the person that my parents raised, I let it go.
And so you picked yourself up. What was that moment that you remember where you said, I don't want to continue to stay in this place that I'm in. It's time for me to get back.
It was a sad day. Trust me, I cried probably all day long. And I was just praying, and I knew that God had something on my life that I needed to see out. So I'm just like, okay, that's from the weight loss. That's from my mindset changing, changing how I run my life, how I structure my situation. All of that came in that moment. And this is what you got today.
And what we have today is LaLa. The LaLa that we had. Do you feel like you're fully recovered back to that LaLa where you were before the fire?
No, of course not. I was doing so much. I used to have events 3-4 times a year. I haven't. I'm not there. I want to be there. Last year, of course, the Stellars went to Atlanta. Everybody's pushing me to do my event. I was dark that day. I cried the whole day at the event. Mark, Mr. Collins, all the Stan Jones, Benita Bellamy, Catherine, Gerard, like they came. I cried first of all, it was my birthday. It was on my birthday. And at the panel, at the showcase, I was so emotional because I was so weighted and overwhelmed. I was so heavy. I was so heavy last year. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
But it was still a success.
It was. We had a great time. We heard some amazing artists, some new artists. We heard some amazing people. And the panel we almost couldn't stop the panel. It was so good. The panel was great last year. So I'm looking forward to July this year. It is my birthday again. So I kind of want to have a celebration that night because the people that are in the industry are the people that I know. So I really want to have a live band and just enjoy each other. Like, again, we only get to see some of these people once a year during Stellar Award Week. So I want all of us to fellowship and be together. So I'm going to try to put something together and make it happen.
Looks like Mr. Collins is planning it. That's what it looks like.
Let him plan it because I'm excited. I'm ready to go.
I'm ready to go too. It's time to celebrate. It's time to celebrate LaLa Crump.
It is.
So now that
I feel better, I have a little more energy.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to get back to LaLa.
And we can't wait for you to get back to LaLa. And what does getting back to LaLa mean for the industry? What does LaLa have coming up for us?
Ooh-wee. A couple of things. I thought about going back on radio. I've had about 3 people ask me to come and be a part of their stations, to create a show. Also, of course, in July, we're going to go back to Vegas and do the Indie Rock Lounge. I'm partnering with Marquise Collins, and I'm getting a good response from that as well. What else?
What did you need me to do for that again? What is my
You gonna host it? You gonna host the panel?
Okay, I'm hosting the panel.
If you're coming, you know we putting you to work.
With no arms.
If you're coming, we putting you to work. You already know that.
You already know I'm coming because I got to be there for the panel. I got to be there for the after party. And then after the party, it's the after party. So I'm going to be there for all of it. If we're celebrating LaLa, you better believe that the Javon Show will be in the building. That's
right. That's right. Period. So many people have reached out to ask me if I was going to have it. Just because of the pattern. I'm still doing promotions and marketing as well. But I'm excited to just be around people and celebrate their success in music. I really am. I work with a really, really good group right now, and we argue, we fuss, we we get into it, but that's growth. It all happens for a success story. And at the end of the night, I wouldn't change it for nothing in the world where I am.
Are you mainly still working with the quartets and Pastor Key?
I am. Those are my two main artists right now. Roy and Revelation, and they're from Hopkins, South Carolina. If you don't know nothing about them, get to know them. They have a really good single out called I Still Got Joy. Pull Together. They have a new album that released last year called The Book of Revelation. So we're doing a lot with them. Pastor Key is still Pastor Key. He's touring. He's still getting his stuff together as well. He's bringing back VIP.
Really?
So we're going to have that in July. It's the last weekend in July. So you guys gear up for that. I'll be posting and sharing the plan for that week as well. But I think we're going to do 3 days.
Nice. I'll come and host that too. That's fine, since he's always trying to bring in comedians. I'm not a comedian, but I think I'm funny. So you know what? I'll host anything.
Come on, you're welcome.
You'll welcome me. So that was really good pull, Javon. Yeah, that was a good pull. What's this Yolanda Adams concert going on?
So Macon, Georgia. Some of my friends in the South Carolina and Georgia area are having a night of praise. It's Middle Georgia Night of Praise. Yolanda Adams, Lee Andrea Johnson, William Murphy, and Roy and Revelation. So the tickets are on sale right now. It's going to be at the Macon Auditorium. So you guys are welcome to come and be a part of that.
There's a huge event.
It is.
In Macon, Georgia.
Macon, Georgia. Yep. It's going to be April the 29th. We're also April 29th that morning doing a luncheon to celebrate Keith Wonderboy Johnson in Atlanta. So we're going to be 2 places that day. We'll be in Atlanta at 1:00, but we're going to be in Macon that night for the Yolanda Adams concert. I'm excited about that as well. I've seen, of course, Leandria and William, but I haven't seen Yolanda in years.
Yeah, she ain't done it in 20 years. So can I catch a ride from Atlanta to Macon? Can I just like get in the back seat or hold the luggage?
Come on.
Because I mean,
I'm actually working stage, so I'm the stage production manager for that concert, and my artist is performing. So I got double duty that day.
Yeah, you need an assistant, and in fact, you know what? I just checked my.
You're free,
and I'm free. I'm free to be LaLa's assistant for that day. I'm the LL.
Okay.
Yeah, LLA. So that's some fantastic stuff that you've got going on, and it's so great to see you. This whole massive weight loss that you went through. I mean, since we talked about everything else, and we're not going to act like people don't notice it. What has that been like for you? How do you feel? How are you right now?
Well, I'm so used to wearing long hair. When I went to short hair, I was like, I don't want nothing on my neck. So when I went to short hair, my cousin does my hair. So people are like, you get your hair done all the time. No, I just run to my cousin's house and my cousin does my hair. Sometimes it's free. I only, trust me, we have a great relationship. He's been doing my hair for about 15 years. And he's down the street. So like, I don't sleep in no bonded. I don't wrap no hair up. I'll just go over there and say, hey, you got to fix this. Something that happened. If he want to play in hair, he plays with me. If he wants to try a color, he tries it on me. Like, but when I went to short hair, yes, everybody saw the weight loss. Everybody saw. When my mother told me that she was proud of me because she knows my struggle with weight loss, I wanted to have the surgery probably 10, 15 years ago. She was, no, you're not having no surgery. I've tried in the past, diet, shakes. It just didn't work for me. Again, after that house fire and changing my mindset of how I eat, what I put in my body, I knew I wanted to live to see my kids have kids, and I needed to change. And that's what I did. And I did not have no surgery. I don't wear no waist trainer. I haven't been to the gym. I need to go because I'm getting flabby. But at the end of the night, it was my portion change and what intake of food that I put in my body. That was it. Totally it. Instead of eating a whole plate, I break a plate down in 3 different meals.
Wow. So you're not starving yourself. You're not in the bathroom. This is all just
of course not.
nice
No.
change.
Now I have to remind myself sometimes to eat because I'm not hungry anymore. Yeah, and I have to eat what I have a taste for, or I won't eat. My go-to is a bowl of cereal, Frosted Flakes.
Oh my God. It's not Frosted Flakes just the perfect cereal?
That's my go-to. If I realize I haven't ate anything or I can't figure out what I want to eat, because if I don't eat what I want, I'm gonna mess over it. So I'll just settle for a bowl of cereal.
It's like manna from heaven. And I put ice cubes in my cereal because I like the milk real cold. I need it just cold when I dip into it.
I haven't done that, but
let me give you one more too. I'm about to bless your whole life right now. Cut up a banana.
No, I've done that.
Put it in the Frosted Flakes. Ain't it the greatest?
Yeah, I've done that.
It's like,
but I haven't done the ice cubes. I have to try that.
Try the ice cube with the banana and the Frosted Flakes. And some people say just get banana nut flakes. It's not the same. It's now banana nut crunch is an amazing cereal as well, but it's not as sweet. It's not sweet enough.
Correct.
But that Frosted Flakes with a banana cut up in it, it changes lifestyles.
Wow.
It'll bring you whole to a different place in life. It's great to see you, LaLa.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me. I have enjoyed this.
This has been amazing.
I don't get to tell my story much, and people don't ask me. I don't just freely share what's going on, but again, I'm excited about becoming LaLa again.
Yeah.
I'm pushing her. Kenitras is pushing her to be LaLa.
Yeah, and Collins, yes, I did recognize that your belly is spreading. You need to get that together. So this has been an amazing show. I got to give one good dig into Collins, which is always necessary for every show. I've got to get him at least one good. And I feel like
I love him so much.
Yeah, Thornridge. It's what we do. So before we go, for people who want to get in contact with you, for people who want to bless your life, how do they reach LaLa Crump?
I'm on all social media at LaLa Crump, at LaShelle715. If you just do the at, I'm on Twitter. I went back on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat. I don't really know how to work Snapchat. All I know how to do is post a picture, so I don't get to see no stories and check my inbox. I do know how to do that. That's it. But I'm not Snapchat savvy. Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, of course.
You're not TikToking?
I'm on TikTok, and I've posted a couple of things on TikTok. I have one video on TikTok that got 37,000 views, and I got excited about that number, but I'm not on there every day, though.
That's good numbers.
Yeah, one video did that. So, yes.
Nice. I'm going to have to go check out that video. There is a program that's happening today on Instagram. It's at 1 o'clock Central, which is 2 o'clock your time. It's called Are You Insane? It's going to be me, Marquise Jelks, and Leah Brody from the Good Judy podcast. It's called Are You Insane? Because we're asking the question, are you insane? And the premise is we want to just talk about those things that have been happening in the world where we're like, hey, are you insane? Have you come across any are you insane moments where you just had to look around and be like,
Probably so. I probably had a few. My journey is definitely a book, a documentary or something, because it's just been so different.
I write documentaries too.
Yeah, it's just been so different. Mr. Jelks is actually hosting my showcase as well as Algin. Do you remember?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so all three of you guys gonna be working together. I gotta find one female because I don't like to put you guys in a position where you just feel like you just gotta stay up there at the mic. So I kind of get 3 or 4 hosts so you can kind of switch up today and be able to network and get the fellowship with all the artists as well, because some of you guys do interviews and stuff like that. So I definitely want to invite everybody to the Indie Rock Lounge happening in Vegas on July the 14th. Location is still to be, I'm trying to confirm the church. The lady that books the church is out of town, so she told me she'll call me as soon as she get back. But it will be in Las Vegas on July the 14th. My birthday is the 15th.
Ooh.
Trying to figure out if we're doing Friday night or we're going to do Saturday after the Stellar Awards. But I would love for each and every one of you artists to come through. We have such an amazing day at this event. We're going to do a listening party. We're going to do an industry panel, and some of the artists will be performing live. I'm really getting away from this showcase word. I do invite heavy industry executives, well-known industry executives to this platform so they are able to hear you, discover you, and find out who you are. So I would love for you guys, even if you can't perform, if you can't participate, just stop through because the people be in their room.
And they be in the room all day. Yes, they be coming just in and out. I remember one showcase where there was this guy, and then we're gonna end soon. I promise we've been going for an hour. But there was the one I will never forget. It's the one where I met Naomi, the one where Quentin. It was this man on stage, and he had on these shoes with wings on them. I still have the video of that man on that stage with his shoes that had wings.
Wow. I think I remember that.
I still look at that video sometimes as it cracked me up.
Yeah.
And they were up there getting it too. So the Indie Lounge is an amazing place to go to just discover new talent. And you know what? That's what we're here to do. Promote the independent artists,
Yes.
Give them a platform and I know we don't use showcase, but a showcase, let them showcase their gifts, talents, and abilities for the world to see. So I look forward to being in Vegas with Mr. Jelks and Aldrin, and we're gonna just have a great time.
We're gonna have a good time. The guest list is growing. I told you, people are just calling me, LaLa, you doing your event? I'm thinking about it. Put me on the list. I'm talking about industry executives have called me and want to be there. There's Kenton Jones is gonna be there. It's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be real crazy. I'm waiting for the ballot to drop. I got 3 major artists in mind that I want to get in that room. Of course, Naomi is definitely one because, again, that's where she came from.
Mm-hmm.
And I want her to share that story with her and Rebecca. Remember, Rebecca was her manager?
I remember Rebecca.
I want her to share that on that panel. So we're working really, really hard to make sure that she's not in rehearsal because they, of course, are performing on the main stage at the time that I need her. So that's going to be coming out as well.
And before we go, I would be remiss if I didn't give you a little bit of time to talk about your friend, someone who you love dearly, Keith Wonderboy Johnson, who recently, well, I know it's not as recently now, but can you just give us just a little bit of insight into you all's relationship and what he meant to you?
A lot. When I started at 14, I met him at 16, and we had been friends from day one. He's my kid's godfather. I talked to Keith about every day until we got in an argument. We would take a break for 2-3 days, and then we would just talk again. But I had the pleasure of working side by side with him for many years. When he branched off from his record company and started his own label, I was really behind the scenes working very hard for Timeless Music Group. I love Keith. Keith brought a different flavor to what I do. He pushed me a lot. When I say he pushed me a lot, he will introduce me to so many people. One year he came to the Stellars. Of course, you guys know he will always do my panel and be at my events, but he came and he got booked at the last minute for the day the taping was. He gave me his seats, and I promise you, I was sitting next to so many stars that weren't even gospel. I think I was on the 4th row from the front row, and it was just amazing. He was really good to me and my family. He always stepped in when we had death in our family, and they didn't even want to use the choir. They'd be like, "Can you call Keith? Can you call Keith?" So he sung at my grandmother's funeral. He sung at my mom's brother's funeral. He was very instrumental in my family, and I love him dearly. I miss him so much. I miss his jokes. I miss him asking me all these industry questions and me and him trying to figure it out. because he was a go-getter. He really was. And if he wanted to do it, he was going to do it, and he was going to figure it out.
So I appreciate you sharing that. And I knew the relationship that you guys had, so I wanted to make sure that we had that opportunity just to kind of share the show. LaLa, it's been a pleasure. It's great to see you.
Thank you.
Thank you for doing the Javon Show.
You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. Thank you for all of you guys tuning in, and we're going to be sharing this. So
yes,
check
we
it
will.
out.
Yes, we will. And reels and clips and shorts and all that good stuff. So I'll be on the lookout. Ladies and gentlemen, that is LaLa Crump. Thank you to all of you all for staying with us throughout the show. Looking forward to you all coming on the next show. Until next time, take care of yourselves and each other. God bless.
Get a little bit crazy.